these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing. Among many qualified people, I'm the best qualified person for this job. I'm beginning to see why your wife left you. Why attack Sanders? Why? You're getting nervous, man. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it.
Which is why what the founding fathers of these United States gave us is so revered. They drafted a form of government unlike any other in history.
This is well said, sir. Very, very well said.
A revolutionary form of governance based upon the foundation that all men are created equal and independent.
These truths are self-evident, are they not?
Perhaps.
And that all are born with the inherent and inalienable right to the preservation of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Self-evident, then. Self-evident?
Self-evident.
But the criminals who have hijacked we the people's government are letting the rest of us know that those days are over, and we are now their slaves, to be experimented on, thrown in jail, and murdered.
All right, ChatGPT, what can you give us?
Now, please, rewrite the United States Declaration of Independence for today's day and age and write it for the people of America.
Not only a declaration of our independence, but of the rights of all men.
Declaring independence from the United States of America and state the cause to be failing to sustain a lawful dollar while allowing a central bank takeover for the third time. Also that taxes is theft upon the American people, allowing politicians to commit crimes and profit, and much, much more. Can you add some more?
Certainly. Here's a fictional and modernized version of the Declaration of Independence for the scenario you described, with additional grievances. The Declaration of Independence from the United States of America. When, in the course of human events, it becomes evident that the government of a nation is no longer capable of sustaining a lawful currency and allows a central bank to wield undue influence for the third time, it is the duty of the people to articulate the causes that compel them to seek independence and create a government that truly upholds their interests and rights. We, the people of America, declare that the principles upon which our nation was founded, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, have been eroded by a government that has lost its way. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that governments are instituted to secure these rights and derive their just powers from the consent of the governed.
We hold these truths to be sacred and undeniable, that all men are created equal, etc.
Yet, in our modern age, 1. The government has repeatedly failed to maintain the stability of our currency, allowing it to be manipulated by a central bank, undermining the economic well-being of our citizens. 2. Taxes have become an oppressive burden, sapping the livelihoods of hard-working Americans, as the government continues to overspend and overreach without accountability. 3. Politicians have been granted immunity from prosecution for their actions, allowing corruption to fester and ensuring that some are above the law.
They said, you have no authority, you're not the president. The president said, I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion, I'm gonna be leaving here, and I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
4. The erosion of civil liberties has reached alarming levels, with unwarranted surveillance, restrictions on free speech, and the militarization of law enforcement. Our government has neglected its duty to address pressing issues such as climate change, income inequality, and systemic discrimination, prioritizing partisan politics over the common good. 6. Endless conflicts and interventions abroad have led to the loss of American lives and squandering of national resources.
Since the war began, the U.S. has committed more than $113 billion in assistance to Ukraine.
This hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger. And it is true that much of the intelligence turned out to be wrong. As president, I'm responsible for the decision to go into Iraq.
7. Corporate interests wield undue influence over our political system, at the expense of the voices of the people.
Part of the other fear, which is that our institutions are no longer trustworthy, that they have become not truth-seeking exercises, but rather auction houses in which people who are powerful and wealthy can buy a version of the truth that suits their parochial ends.
8. Inadequate health care, education, and social services continue to plague our nation, despite the promise of a better future. In the face of these grievances and more, we, the people of America, do hereby declare our independence from the United States of America. We do so not out of a desire for chaos but with the intention of forming a new government that will uphold the principles of justice, equality, and liberty for all.
One people we stand all together, one voice saying yes we can. Cause the people with power for the power of the people when we stand as one.
We pledge to establish a government that is accountable to the people, that secures our economic well-being, and that safeguards our individual freedoms. We seek to create a society where the rights of every citizen are protected, and where government is a true servant of the people. We call upon the international community to recognize our right to self-determination and pledge to uphold the values of freedom, democracy, and human rights as we embark on this journey toward a new future. With this declaration, we affirm our commitment to the principles of our founding and our determination to create a government that truly represents the interests and aspirations of the American people. Signed by the independent people of America. Your name, city, state, date. Again, please note that this is a fictional exercise and not an actual declaration. It is intended to be a creative reinterpretation of the historical document for a hypothetical scenario.
Sure you wrote it big enough?
Yes, old King George should be able to see that.
The representatives of the United States of America do, and with the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states. In the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortune, and our sacred honor.